Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I'm the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco. Welcome. Happy Thursday. We are so happy that you are here. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Kathy. Evelyn cheats because I guess YouTube allows you to go on before the show even starts, and she starts commenting. But good for you, Evelyn. We're thrilled to have you. Good morning, my sister, Leanne, and welcome to Viva.
Buenos días, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita, your gladiator guru, and Evelyn. If that's you cheating your way to the front of the line, girl, don't stop.
That's
Don't
right.
stop. Get it.
That's right.
Good morning, Kathy and Leanne. Buenos días. Happy Thursday. Jueves. Thank you.
We are fabulous, but you're all fabulous. If we could see you, you'd be fabulous as well. So thank you for that. It's so funny. I commented as soon as we came on this, right before we logged in, that the other day I was in the colors. Tuesday I was in colors, and Gladiator Guru was more subdued. And now I'm more subdued, and Gladiator Guru is in color. So maybe one of these days we'll actually work out so that we're both like either really like right.
It's yin yang. We're keeping the balance, you know.
True. That's
what it is. And here's my necklace that I made with 52 cents, 75% off Halloween flowers, and I'm loving it. I just told Badass Buddha I made them yesterday morning, and I was like, ugh. And it's a pull strap. I'm loving it. I could even put it on my hair if I want to look cute. It doesn't really matter. It's what I love, and I love it. And I said, let me use it with lime green since the Badass Buddha wore yellow. And today I told her she's classically vintage. I'm loving it. Remember, if you can be anything, what would you wear? What's going to make you, as tired as I am today, I took my shower, my hair's still wet, and I said, you know what? I got to be the best version of myself right at this moment. Because remember, all we have is now. So, pa'lante, mi gente.
That's right. And we ask that you don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe. Let people that you know that you're on today with us. Let's see how many people we can get on. Let's see how many new people we can get on. We always are looking for that. We love when new names and stuff pop up, you know, and it's fantastic. And today we're continuing our commit and recommit month, and we're talking about I can. We talked about I want on Tuesday. We're doing I can today, and it's about capabilities. You know, we're reviewing our capabilities. On Tuesday we reviewed it's what's possible, and today we're talking about our capabilities. And again, this all has to do with everything that we've done since January. We're just squashing it into a review between October and November, and then December we're going to mix things up a little bit, and we're going to be talking a lot about gratitude, which was how we ended our quarterly thing, our 3 quarters. We ended with gratitude in September, but we're also going to be just talking about like fun stuff like we've done before. You know, we like the funny, silly titles. You know. But it all still has to do with the information that we've talked about all in the entire year. So definitely want to end your year off great by hanging out with us in December. We are taking the last 2 weeks of November off to sort of reboot. We've never done that before. So, and it was interesting as we were having our meeting yesterday. Good morning, Milagros.
Milagritos.
We were updating the like the episodes, right? Because we're going to be knocking off 4 episodes at the end of the year. We had to update, and it ended up coming out that we ended up on our 100th episode. So the last show in December on that Thursday or whatever that date is our 100th episode for the year. And normally we hit about 104. So this is actually, we thought about this. And we're like, you know what, this is actually kind of good that maybe going forward, we will always take 4 episodes off somewhere in the year and then always end on 100 episodes.
And what's the total since we began?
Well, so we are in our My dog keeps licking herself. It's annoying. We started in 2020, and I think in 2020 we got to about 94 episodes. Then in 2021 we got to 104 ish, because I think we missed one because we had like connection issues. Then in 2022, same thing. So we've averaged, so 2 years in a row we averaged over 100. We hit almost 100 in the first year that we did it, and we're hitting 100 this year. So it's close to almost 400 episodes. We'll have to do the complete total, but almost 400 episodes. And we don't monetize. How foolish have we been? We would have been making a killing, I think, but I don't know. Good morning, Stephanie Nieves in the house.
Hey, freckle face. Yes, it is amazing. You know what? It's like the quote that I read from Denzel. When you have a goal, you need discipline, which is commitment and consistency. And I think Viva has had that through the week my mom was slowly dying, that nobody
Yes.
knew until she passed away. I showed up
Right.
for the show and Moms After Dark. When your dad was going through the same thing, you were on the show, you showed up. I mean, the commitment that we've made to Viva, and the consistency in which we worked it, whether we were a little bit late, whether I had technical difficulties wherever I was traveling and signing in late. I woke up late, that's how I roll. And so we were always there. We had the commitment to be consistent. And let me tell you, I am not a disciplined person. Whoever knows me knows me. I'm better now, but I roll with it. And so the balance that we've had here has been really good. And I love Viva Cafe con Leche. I love it. So don't think anything past the 2-week hiatus we're taking, because we will be back. We'll be back in full force. We'll be back, more energized. Right now I'm tired. So, and it's sad because that last 2 weeks is my birthday, and we all know how this Sagittarius feels about her birthday, but we can, celebrate it before or after. I'm open.
Yes, we can. Absolutely. Good morning, Lisa Green.
But we need that. I need that. The badass Buddha, drastic changes in life, exhaustion, mentally, physically, spiritually, in a good way. But you know what? It's something that we're gonna have to do. So yeah.
Happy early birthday from my sister.
Oh yeah.
Good morning, Nancy Green. Good morning, Lisa Genzo. And Lisa, it's so funny that you came on. I know you came on like a couple of weeks ago as well. I have to reach out to you because I have finally relocated to my farm, and Lisa is all about food and changing the world and sustainability and organics and clean eating, and she knows all, like she is the person to talk to about when you want to learn about better eating and how to cook it too, because that's what she specializes in, is actually cooking it and teaching it to not just adults but even to children, so to empower children. But Lisa, I've got to talk to you because one conversation that we had, you talked about how there's a guy that trains younger people to farm land, but they can't afford to farm their own land right now, so they just come and farm. So I definitely want to have a conversation with you about that, because we have 5 acres to play with, and possibly acquiring more within the next year or two. So, and yeah, you've been on my mind too. That's so funny. But I'm down in Tennessee, so I know you're far up north. But I'm happy that you were here. So thank you.
Yes, welcome. Yeah, so the intro and the mantra, but then we'll do the cafe. I haven't done my cafe. My cafe is, and today I just want to say it's like that cock which crows in the dew of the new day.
The cock that
crows in the dew of a new day. That is my cafe, because I drink cafe con leche and I know shit.
I love a good crowing cock. I will tell you that, Gladiator Guru.
Yes. We
Yes,
all
we
all like the shrill of it. Yeah.
Yeah, Nancy,
But
I moved almost a month ago. Like about Sunday will be a month ago. it'll be a month. So, yep. So I'm
Already,
in
wow.
Tennessee. All right. So good morning, Dawn Pellegrino, Carmelo in the house. So let's set our intention. Let's do our mantra. And please, we would love it if you would like, share, follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And let everybody know if you're on Facebook, share it with your group. If you're on YouTube, share the link with somebody. Thanks, Nancy. Okay, so let's set our intention. As always on Viva, we want you to be intentional. So create your day, be intentional, have a purpose to your day. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, doesn't have to be anything big, doesn't have to be anything complicated. It could be just saying, I intend to have a great day today. I intend to be happy today. But set your intention and
do it in gratitude. Here's the authentic gratitude symbol. For those who thought I just like to say the word, I do like the way it ripples off my tongue. But I painted this on my art room floor. Gratitude has always been something I think that has saved my life throughout my childhood. To be grateful that I can say no mas while chaos was happening. So gratitude, without gratitude, you really can't set intentions. You really can't follow through on intentions. You can't do shit. So be grateful that you're breathing right now.
You can't do shit. Yes.
And that you're watching us live.
Yes.
So yes, make wise choices. Remember, discernment is not about being holy. It's about choosing wisely and judging wisely.
Yes. Discernment is probably one of the most powerful words. And it's funny, with all my mindfulness practice, I never really came across discernment until having a conversation with Gladiator Guru, and discernment has become a main staple of my life because we can't not judge as humans. It's just human nature, really takes a lot. It takes a guru and a sage and a Buddhist monk to sit on top of a hill and have no judgment on stuff. But discernment allows for that space, that in between, that mindful judgment, that I don't have to have an opinion of it right at this moment. Let me take a step back and let me observe. And I could also be quiet about my opinion. I don't have to be loud about it. I could just work through it and then have a well thought out, insightful comment, or say nothing. That's the other beauty about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do our mantra and let's get busy. So say it loud, say it proud. We don't care where you are. We just want you to say it as loud as you can. And if you cannot say it loud, say it anyway. Here we go. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I keep it real.
All day, no doubt.
All right. So
it's so funny with my little iPhone 6 that doesn't hold Facebook anymore. I always have just enough time to post the from YouTube to Facebook so people are aware that we are live, and then it just goes blink. So I'd be popping up like slut magic on Facebook just to post a Viva, but it's all good. Again, it's about what are you willing to do in your now right now to make a difference for what comes next. I love our mantra.
Good morning, Sonia Rodriguez. I missed you on there, so I apologize. I try to get everybody. So I'm just
Sonia's my childhood friend. Yes, good morning, my beautiful tree. That's what she always stood so firm. She walked so gracious. I always felt like she was like 5 feet taller than me. And she still looks like she never had kids. And she had like 2 sets of twins. You got it, Mama. You've been
my goodness. Blessed.
Yeah. She had 5 kids and she looks like her daughters. And I knew I love you. We always made the perfect 10 walking down the street. She was the 1, I was the 0.
All right. So let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I get everybody. Okay. So we're talking about I can today. We're talking again, for those of you that are new, we have been or haven't been on as much. We have been basically doing one long coaching like coaching session after coaching session for this year to really boost you up. And we've done it in quarters, and each quarter we were learning something new. And then in the third quarter, we ended with gratitude. And then the fourth quarter was a review. It was a review and reboot. So it was for us to think about everything that we had just learned over the last 9 months. And then from there, decide if we actually hit the mark. And if we didn't, then we needed to redirect ourselves. We needed to think about why didn't we, what we need to do differently. Was it, maybe it wasn't important. Maybe we thought it was, and that's why we didn't do it. So this is about connecting and reconnecting. This is with ourselves. And so on Tuesday's show, we talked about I want, what's possible. And today we're talking about I can, our capabilities. And we know that we're really only limited by what we believe ourselves to be. So if you got to this point in the year and still didn't do the things that you really had wanted to do because you didn't think that it's possible or you didn't think you're capable, then we need you to reboot that. We need you to rethink that, refeel it, like all those things, because it's possible. You know, people have done the most miraculous things. They've reversed disease. They have defied the laws of physics and science. And why? What made them different? Were they superheroes? Were they what made them different was they believed, and they were driven to do it. And so we don't want you to start your new year and say, well, just ride the end of the year out and say, forget this, you know, it's the end of the year, I'll just wait till the new year. We want you to say, the hell with this, I'm not waiting until the end of the new year. Exactly. I want it now, and I'm going to do it now till the end of the year. You know, we hear that all the time, people saying, well, the holidays are coming up. I didn't really lose the weight that I wanted to, so I'm just going to wait till the beginning of the year. And then they engorge. It's like they give themselves permission to engorge. And it's like, well, why can't you just do it now? Just do it now. And so modify your eating for the holidays. You don't have to stuff yourself with all the garbage and the fattening foods.
So then feel like shit.
That's just one example. Good morning, Georgianne.
Good morning, Georgianne. You know what? Life is a one-time offer. And if you don't use it wisely, it will beat you to the ground.
That's
because
correct.
Life has a way of kicking your ass throughout year after year.
Yes.
Are you going to stand and take it, or are you going to confront the issues that are in your control and make changes according to your purpose? Because nobody can do it for you. You know, that cliched quote that everybody uses, it never gets old for me because it is the absolute truth. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Amen to that.
And that's how it is with a lot of things and a lot of people that maybe you even know. But let me tell you something. You know, I sent out a couple things because, you know, those who know me know I'm trilingual. I speak English, Spanish, and profanity. And people who hear me speak profanity, you know, I have self-control. I know when to use it, when not to use it, and when you fucking bring it out of me. But you know, a lot of people judge people who use profanity. So a lot of people refrain from being their natural self because they don't want people to think bad about them. So then they end up hating people who are courageous enough to be themselves wherever they are. And so they'll downgrade them. Oh, only uneducated, ignorant people use profanity. But, you know, I sent something that Harvard just finished their 40-year study that high-functioning, high-intelligent people use profanity. But when people say stop cursing, it's the cursing of, I'm not saying it for me, Lord. I am sick. I am poor. I am broke. I am lonely. You know, I am a victim. I am this. That's cursing yourself.
Yeah.
Those are using words to curse your being, your spirit. So remember, the words you speak become the house you live in. So if you can do anything.
That really is.
Yes. The words you speak become the house you live in. If you can be anything, be pro you. And that's what this I can is. I say I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. Because let me tell you, I learned that climbing mountains in 2017, severely out of shape, didn't leave the house, and I wanted to die. And I did it. And because I would say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Father God, please help me. I'm going to die. I wanted to literally lay in the middle of the dirt road and just let somebody come help me, but I didn't.
Like roadkill along the
Yeah,
path.
like,
Just
oh my
walk over
God,
you.
there's a hippopotamus on the road. We can't pass. So all of that to say, when you say I can, you can. Now, there's steps to completing that I can. What you can be in this very instant, in this now, is sincere and honest with yourself.
Yes.
What you can be is proactive in your life. What you can be is disciplined enough to commit yourself to doing what you've always wanted to do, starting with the pennies in your pocket, not
Yes.
thousands of dollars in your account, not registering your business and having a business account. Start now. What do you want to do? Make the phone calls. Hit the pavement. Go look at these whatever spots that you want to do it at. Do it. And then everything should come into place. You know why? Because when you believe in yourself enough, the universe aligns to assist you. But if you lay in the bed, I think I was talking to the badass Buddha about this. If you lay in the bed talking, Father God, please let me hit the lotto, but you don't get your ass up to buy a lotto ticket, what are you doing? God helps those who help themselves. You got to start. You got to tread the way. You got to climb that mountain, cross that stream, and end up at his door and knock and say, I'm here. And then he'll open and make a way for you. But you got to be proactive in your life. So whatever it is, eating right, you know what? We cannot mention the more eating right and exercising and being there for yourself like no one has ever been for you before. Isn't that amazing to realize? My mama, my daddy, my siblings, my men, I gave so much and I got so little. Well, because you gave too much of everything elsewhere, you didn't feed your spirit. So I can be here for myself 100%. And then start out with fear, with insecurities, but committed to providing you the life you're supposed to live. And while you live, you only have one life. People like, you only live once. No, you live every day you wake up.
That's right.
You start a whole new chapter in your life, but you don't see it because you're dragging yesterday's bullshit in today. As soon as you wake up, you're thinking about what happened yesterday. Oh my God. Not me. I'd be like, I talk and then I'm like, guardian angel, protect my tongue. Give me clarity. And I start my day with a tribe. I don't be starting with just me, because who am I? Unless I am. Go ahead, badass. I'm sorry.
For what? That was fabulous. What are you talking about? Don't apologize. Don't apologize for that. This is
Good morning, Tiffany Bryan.
we want you. We really want to push you to really feel what we're saying. The I want, the I can. We're going to talk next week is I am unstoppable, and then I'm conquering, because it's all about saying, all right, you know what? Maybe I didn't get it right. Maybe I made some bad choices this year. Maybe I said I was going to do something, but I didn't follow through. I'm a terrible person. I'm stupid. I'm not, like, I can't do this. We want you to stop that. Like, it really does not serve you or anybody else. It's just like complaining over and over again about what's wrong with your life, what's wrong with other people. Why are they doing this? And you get caught up in it. I can attest to that. You get caught up in it. It's a way of avoiding the things that you need to deal with for yourself. And when you finally get out of that circle, like just that cycle, and then you stand on the outside of it and you see it from the outside, you're like, oh God, why did I allow that to happen for so long? But just ask that question one time and then move on. Because if you keep asking that question, why didn't I do this? Or why did I allow for this for so long? Blah, blah, blah. It's an unanswerable question.
And
you might be able to have an answer, but it makes no difference because it's done. The question is, what are you going to do with that information now? What did you learn from that? And what are you going to do with that? Because that will tell you what you're capable of. And we are all capable of doing amazing things. We are much more resilient than we give ourselves credit for. We only see it from certain perspectives, like within ourselves. Like, well, I was able to get past this. But it's like when you think about it, there's more to that story than you're giving yourself credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I guess we don't really want to push that because we think, oh well, I'm going to sound self-centered if I toot my own horn. Nobody's telling you to blast it out on social media and say, well, I did this and I got through this. Say it to yourself. Hey, you know what? I did get through that. I got through this. I remember doing this in my 20s. Why was I so much bolder at this time in my life? And then all of a sudden I wasn't. What happened and what did I learn and what can I do differently about it? God knows I knew that about myself. I would have boldness to a certain level, especially in my 20s. But then I would get involved with somebody and then I would all of a sudden become this needy, dependent, codependent type of person. And I loved that bold me. And the irony was all the people that I attracted, that I connected with, liked the bold me too. But then they knocked the bold person down. But it took me to adulthood, like middle age, to realize that those are people that do that. So I have to be diligent and say, no more. That's not going to happen anymore. I know who I am. I love me. And I love the person I am. I'm still learning about myself and I'm still growing and I'm still figuring myself out. But I'm doing it in such a way that I'm open to certain things, but then I'm also very steadfast on what I know already about myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not willing to bend. I always thought that, oh, you need to be a good person. You want to be flexible. There's rigid flexibility or flexible rigidity. Like you could have both. It's like, like I'm steadfast with certain things and I'm very flexible and flow with other stuff, but I know me and I am not going to allow other people to tell me how to be, how to act. I should do this. I'll let them say whatever they want because they have the right to say whatever they want. But that doesn't mean I have to listen, nor does it mean I have to follow. That's discernment. You take that step back, you hear it. Thank you for your opinion. Or you say, you need to shut up because I don't need to hear your opinion, whatever you want to say. But you take it in and that's that.
Well, going back to what you said, everything you said is correct. So toot your horn. Toot, toot, motherfucker. Because if you're worried about people thinking you're bragging, then you're not where you saying you are. So you toot your horn because who is important? You're not bragging. You are happy in your moment, in your life, which means you are confident. And with confidence comes great responsibility because there is a thin line between being self-centered and being a centered self where you want to help and assist others reach their full potential the way you have. So it all is with discernment and what you're doing. But if you're going to choose, if you worked hard to be where you're at and someone asks you, let me tell you, for many, many, many years up until recently, and it's something I wish Iritza was on because she can confirm. I hate it. Like when we were walking through Portugal and we would sit down with groups of people, and the main question everybody asks is, "Oh, what do you do?" I drink coffee. What do you do? So, and Edie would always say, "Oh, she's a writer and an artist. She makes paintings." And because I always made paintings as a way of transferring my sorrow and my sadness, that I never looked at myself like that. And I really love, like sometimes when I'm like, I'll make a painting. And it bothered me because I never like really considered myself that. And then it's like, I am a traveling magician is what I am. And I've mentioned that here. I'm going to toot my horn.
Yes.
Anywhere I go in this world, you hear me? In this world, I can speak. I'm a storyteller. I can write books and publish them from anywhere in this world. And I can pick up a paintbrush and paint a mural or paint some rocks in front of somebody's house or pick up a piece of cardboard from the street at a cafe and start painting my little heart's desire away. I am a traveling musician. So if people look at me and say, oh, look, if she thinks she's all that, then that's your thought. That has nothing to do with me. I am not responsible for your judgments. I am responsible for being 100% present and alive in the gifts that I have been given for me to move forward and create income anywhere I'm at, create a legacy of speaking and writing and painting. I am a horn tutor. And if you don't like it, then please remove yourself from my friends list, remove yourself from anything in my life. If me being truly appreciative of the human that I am bothers you, then you do not belong in my circle. Because we have come, we have traveled. You know what? Strength comes from your pain healed.
Yes.
People nowadays with their sensitivity, if you go on things that like, oh, people say that I'm strong today because of my trauma. Bullshit, my trauma caused this. You're too sensitive, bitch. I am who I am today because I overcame what was meant to kill me.
Yes. Yeah.
And if I didn't go through darkness, through pain, through trauma, through torture, through abuse, I wouldn't sit here and say, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become.
Yes, that's right.
So with all this sensitivity going on in the world, trauma didn't make me strong. You know what? Then you keep singing that song. I'm going to keep telling my facts. And that's how we progress in life. To each its own. I'll respect you. You respect me. And we carry on.
That's
right?
Capabilities. That's I can. We can do what it is that we want to do. And that's the irony is that we're not sometimes willing to take accountability for not doing things because we want to blame other people or other situations or other things. Now, granted, there are legitimate excuses out there. You know how I feel about excuses. If it's important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. And you know how I feel about mistakes. I think there are very few mistakes in the world. They're bad choices. And if you look at them if you learn from the bad choice and don't repeat, then it even wasn't a bad choice. But it's a choice. And so we choose not to do something, and then we blame a situation or a person and says, well, I can't, or they won't let me, or I can't do this because I don't have enough money. How many times have people said, I can't travel because I don't have enough money? How many blogs have you heard of people or videos have you watched of people traveling with nothing? Like with
me, I do it all the time.
Exactly. And it's like, so it is an excuse. It is an excuse. If your idea of traveling is traveling to an extreme place in a 5-star hotel with 5-star restaurants, then yes, you're going to need a lot of money. But if you say, I can, if I want to travel, I can just take my tent and a sleeping bag and hope for the best. I will look for a motel, but if I can't, I'll just camp out. I'll sleep in my car because I want to see things. I want to experience. And if it means doing it that way, if it means staying at a hostel, well, hostels are for younger people and people that have no money. You're honestly,
my ass is gonna be young on that night. I'm at the hostel.
But this is what we say. We make an excuse. We're not telling you to go out and not be safe. It's you could do all these things and still be safe. You know, when I did my cross-country trip with my kids, it was the greatest. It was awesome. Like I love doing long distance car rides to the point where I'm thinking, why even stay in a hotel the next time? Why don't I just do it so that I just have the sleeping bags? We sleep in the car. Like how can I keep it simple? Because what I saw driving, I couldn't see from a plane. So if I flew from the East Coast to Utah, would have never seen all that stuff in between. And that was the coolest part about it was, you know, I got to spend time with my children. I got to stop at different places, meet different people. And I really want to do that here. I want to like start traveling into the states that I have not traveled into because I'm closer to those states. But it's about what you have got to get over yourself already and stop saying, I can't, I'm not capable. You have got to say, this is what I want to do. What is it going to take for me to do it? I want to lose the weight. I want to get myself into shape. I want to go traveling. I want to have 3 weeks off a year. I want to be self-employed. What will it take? You are in your own way. You are
You are.
capable. Questions, insight, knowledge. You want to run your own business? Go ask people who run their own business. Go to an entrepreneurial thing that's free. Go to SCORE. Go to Small Business Association. They always have seminars. Ask people in that industry, hey, I really like doing that. I want to make jewelry. Where do you go and sell? Blah, blah, blah. Just do it. And if it's not your main gig, make it a side hustle. Doesn't have to be your main gig. If you feel like I can't really make a lot of money off of that, maybe you can't for your lifestyle, but still brings you joy. Do it anyway.
Yeah. And change your lifestyle. Maps. You know what, Kathy and Madeline? Yesterday, my niece and I were driving to West Bumblefuck here because you can drive 3 hours one way. You're still in Florida. Um, and she was saying that she's like, if chaos were to happen and we have to walk out into the ruralness towards Georgia up that way to be safe out of the city, how would we know which way? I said, we got to get a compass. She goes, how the hell you read a compass? We got to find out where and who has paper maps, because they've done away with it on purpose, because we're all conspiracy theories.
I just ordered one.
And so thank you for bringing that up. And let me tell you something. I have traveled to the Grand Canyon. My recent trip was a week after my mom died, because my amiga Lillian took me to Vegas, and we went to the Grand Canyon and Red Rock Canyon. It was the most healing
Yes, love
couple
that
of
area.
days that I had, picking up those rocks, running my fingers through the dirt, just standing in the wind, because it was in March and it was windy, and I've been to California. I had driven to California, and 3 days. The desert is very, very spooky at night. I don't care who anybody says it's not. So, and I've been to Georgia and North Carolina, and I've driven Florida back and forth, but it doesn't intrigue me. I can go to Europe and take a bus from Pamplona to France for $16, and I can stay at hostels and albergues for $8 a night. And so what? I sleep with 50 people, and sometimes it's a hit or miss. I can sleep with 3, but I love it. I sleep like a log. So learn who you are, because I don't have any desires or passions to travel the US. I would rather travel internationally and sleep in outside churches and stuff like that. I don't need 5-star hotels. I don't need service like Badass Buddha says. I'm nitty gritty. Give me a backpack. Give me 3 peonies. I'm on my way. That's how you do it. So you got to know who you are, so you can know which route you're going to take, because there's a lot of yous who want to do the whole state thing and America the Great. And then there's a lot of us that want to, travel outside and maybe even take up residency somewhere. But you got to know who the hell you are, so you can know what the fuck you want. And that's the reality of life. Matt Conroe, if you think your mind, it will relax. If you think your heart, it will open. If you think your past, it will integrate. If you think your symptoms, they will heal. If you think your shadow, it would vanish. I like my shadow, keeps me balanced. If you think your life, it will transform. And if you think yourself, the light will dawn. Matt Kahn wrote that, and I love it. And I had it saved in my Love Yourself thing on Pinterest, and I go back to them sometimes because I forget what I saved. But let me tell you, either way, you get a tent, you drive. Lord, the Badass Buddha loves driving cross country. You know what? That's phenomenal. I love to hear what people love. So what is it that you love? And then do it. And like she said, start from now. If you want to do this, if you want to do that, then Kathy, it is. When you're walking through France, through Europe, you wash them every night. You hang them up. It is the most simplest way, minimalist way of living that makes you appreciate everything about yourself. And cotton panties, not no fancy shit. So so you got to choose what it is you want. And like listening to both of us, so many people were like, yeah, like Madeline said that she drove all across the United States before she got married and had kids with a map, no GPS, no phone. Kathy said the same thing. Now you see how when the badass Buddha was talking about her experience, it like, I'm sure that excited you because you did it. You don't think about it anymore because life got in the way. You got excited, and Kathy did. And and that's beautiful. Get excited. Feel that excitement. Bring, we're so busy thinking of the negative memories of our past. Go dig, because I know those good ones are there as well. Bring them forward. Remind yourself what kind of badass you were when you were young, because that's still you. You just kept drinking everybody else's leftover punch. And now you're like sitting at the bottom of the cup. Regurgitate that shit and bring yourself forward again. Because you got to know what you like. And you don't need money not the way I travel. Travel backpack. Let me tell you, last time we went, I had coffee with Margarita in Spain. People were donating $5, $10. My son-in-law donated $50 so we could have wine and coffee. And that's how I made my trips. That's how I paid my beds. That's how I drank all the coffee that I could have through Portugal and Spain. Be creative. You don't need a lot to make great memories. You don't need a lot of money to live an abundant, full life. It's bullshit. You want to own what's new in style, the newest car. You want to own the baddest sneakers. You want to do all this, then that's on you. But less is best. Less is best. You badass Buddha finding furniture in her barn, redoing it, making it look beautiful on her porch. That's what life is about. Reviving the old and fixing it to fix your now, to fit your now. That's you. Reviving the old you that was beautiful, and now today you're bringing forward out of that barn what still can serve a great purpose in helping you stay alive and thrilled and excited, and then going forward with it. She said, I need more panties. Let me tell you, a backpack and 3 panties. Let me tell you, it worked.
You just have to wash more often, Kathy. It's hand
Every
wash.
night.
Hand wash.
Every night you go back to the basics, and there's the beautiful thing, the basics.
But the bottom line is this: if you are okay, so let's go back to the traveling piece for a second. If you are a 4 or 5 star traveler, if you don't want to have just 3 panties, if you want to travel and be more elegant, then you know who you are. That's the thing. It's just that you know that you need to up your game to create the wealth that will allow you to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a very simple person. I can create something from nothing. I can find a little old wooden shack and stay in it. I just have to clean it up and kind of make it my own. I can do that. I can cook on anything. That's fine. I know that about myself. Would I say no? Like if somebody said, okay, you have this shack, but for free, you have this very elegant place to stay in. I'm going to take the elegant place. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what? I like being rustic, but every so often I could be a little bougie and a little pamper myself. But the point is that I'm not going to say to myself, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to save until I get to that, to afford the bougie. That's not that important to me. But if it's important to you, then do what you must do to afford to be able to do that. Like, don't just sit in bed going, I really want to go to this 5-star restaurant in Dubai or 5-star hotel in Dubai, and then just lay there and not do anything different to get yourself there. You have to look at it and say, okay, I'm going to plan this. How much would it cost for me if I went next year and I booked the plane ticket and this is the place that I want to go? What is that going to cost me? Oh, it's going to cost me $15,000. What can I do between now and the next 10 months to make the $15,000 that's going to be necessary to go on that trip? And then you go on that trip and you're like, this is incredible. I decided I wanted to do this. I figured out how to make the money. And I went on that trip. Why? because because I'm capable. I can figure this out. Otherwise, just talking about it, putting it on the bucket list, bucket lists are great, but any list is no good if it just sits there as a list.
Because then it becomes a fuck it list. Fuck it, I can't do that.
That's right.
And
We've
I don't
done
got
that
time
show
for that.
before. Remember we did that show? Bucket or fuck it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Good
Welcome,
morning,
Lilian
Desiree.
Acosta, Enirita, and Desiree. But listen, Kathy, remember I showed you this notebook on Tuesday that I bought at Five Below. But I bought that because this is the title of my book, A Backpack in 3 Pennies. And so, yeah. But again, you have to know who you are to know what you're capable of doing and how to live the life you have in your now. Like, what am I going to do now with myself? Because I was a mother of 2. Now they're grown with families of their own. They have children. And it's me, myself, and I. And so I am not going to continue to live my life as though, oh, I got to be here for this. I got to be here for that. I got to be here for this birthday, for this holiday. I got to show up for myself. And if I got to show up anywhere that I want to be at, then I'm going to do it. Because I'm not offending anybody. I'm not cheating anybody but myself if I don't do so. So everything requires decision, actions, and trade-offs. And Osaka, absolutely. I'm going to decide to do it. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to overplan. I'm not going to calculate every motherfucking penny and round it off to the next dollar. I'm going to say, like I've always done since my kids were little. On a Wednesday morning, I would go to work at the phone company and says, I have nothing planned this weekend. I'll call my sister. I'm like, you want to go to Florida this weekend? She's like, can we? I'm like, sure. I would hang up with her, walk into the credit union, say, I need a $1,500 loan. And they would say, okay, come pick it up this afternoon. Back then, early 90s, I'll pick up the check. I'll go and deposit it. And then I'll buy the tickets for my sister, me, and the 3 kids to go to Florida and then have money to go over there. And then we'll come back on Sunday and then I'm back at work on Monday because Friday they're going to take some of the money out of my check. That's how I've always lived. And I cannot tell you that I ever was like, oh my God, I should have planned more. Because that's how I trust myself in this universe to say, this is what I want. This is what I can do. Let's do it. Wednesday.
Yeah.
Want to go? Friday. We're on a motherfucking plane. But everybody is different when they're planning their lives. So plan your life according to what makes you comfortable.
That's right.
God, don't just plan. Act.
Yes. Absolutely. This is about you. That's the thing. A lot of times we're so hell-bent on learning about what other people are like or what other people recommend. And then maybe I should try this and maybe I should try that. Do what feels the best for you. You don't have to ignore the information coming in. Take it in, but use discernment. Take that step back, see it, feel it, and then just decide what works best for you. I made a lot of very, very bad choices with regards to my business between the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2022, the way beginning of 2022. And what I learned was I can say no. No is a full sentence. I could say, I have to think about that. I can say, I'm not sure. Let me do a little bit more research on that. And when somebody says to me one of those things, because this is a big sales tactic, is, well, if you sign up right at this moment, you get 50% off or you get $500 off. We've seen that a lot with people coming to give us estimates on fixing and working on the house. And I let them say it. And I say, well, if I really, really want to hire you, I'm okay with not taking that $500 discount if it means that I get 3 extra days to decide, because I'm not giving you an answer today and I'm not signing up. I don't work that way. And I have accepted the fact that I won't get a discount That's how you want to roll it. That's fine. But if you have quality service, you're going to give me that extra 3 days. And most of them have said, well, I can hold it for the next, 24 hours. Then hold it for the next 24 hours. And if I decide yes, then great. If not, I said, I do not work that way. And the moment I stay steadfast, that also tells me who they are. If you're telling me that I have to sign up with you right this minute, or else I walk out that door, or they walk out the door, and I don't get the discount, then I don't get the discount.
Yeah,
then I don't
something's
need to be
wrong.
with you.
Mhm.
And I do not want to have my business that way either. I don't like, I've been taught that. I've been told to say, when you get them on, do this and say this. And I'm like, but that does not work for me. If I had a conversation with this individual and I offered them a discount, I am going to give them a discount, even if they get back to me 4 months from now and they say, hey, does that discount still apply? Then I can make a decision and say, well, yeah, for the first couple of sessions or for the first session, but going forward, then you would for the first month. But after that, we go to the normal. I would say it that way. Say, listen, this is, you get a discount for the first month, but then after that, and it's wide open. So whether you sign up in 6 months or now. But this is because I had to learn. I screwed myself a lot. I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of clients. I lost my drive. I lost myself until I finally said, you know what? I'm very capable. I know what I want. And this is not how I want to do it. This is not the way I want to do it. If somebody is going to screw me over and not pay me, then that's on them. The karma will get them at some point, but I will recoup it some way or somehow. And yet I've never had that happen. I've never had somebody who took a service from me and just didn't pay me. So it took me a long time to really, really accept my capabilities and stand up and say, that's good. That might work for you, but that doesn't work for me. And it's a turnoff for me a lot when people sell that way, or when people just do anything that way. When you have to make a decision, well, then I'm not the person for you. I'm not your client. I'm not your customer. I'm not your friend. If you're telling me I have to make a decision right now, unless it's something, like a friend says, listen, I'm buying tickets to a show. I'll get you a ticket, but you have to tell me like right now or within the next hour, because, that part I get, that's different. I'll say, okay, well, yeah, all right, I want to go. But if I say, well, I can't give you a decision right now because I don't know if I'm going to have money, I accept the consequences. Because if I call them back the next day and say, hey, listen, can I still get on that ticket? And they say, well, it got all sold out. I have to accept the consequences of my choice, not get mad at them, not get mad at myself, and then not let them get mad at me. I mean, not that I can control that, but if they get mad at me, well, I told you to get it. I missed out. It's okay. It is what it is.
When the beauty of your life is when you make decisions for your life.
Yes.
When we make decisions based on how is they going to react to this? Is this going to affect my kids? Is my husband going to get mad at me? If I decide not to go home for Thanksgiving, or my siblings or my parents, are they going to be talking shit because I didn't show up this year? When you live your life like that, you handed your life over. So
Yes.
how dare you take offense to anybody telling you shit? When you choose not to be present and active in your own life, you created that travesty in your life.
That's correct.
So how dare you get angry, upset, disappointed, triggered, sensitive over how anyone else responds? You handed them permission to run your life.
Yeah.
When
And
you
that's
look
a
at
bitter
it like
pill.
that, yes, I don't want to hear but. Oh, yeah, but you don't know. But I don't want to know, because that but just erased everything nice you started off with before the word but.
And that's a bitter pill to swallow, but I'm going to tell you, and it's a big one. It's a big, fat horse bitter pill to swallow. But when you force yourself to swallow that pill and take in what Gladiator Guru just said, you will free yourself of so much bullshit, because you say, okay, you are right. I chose to do all of that and put everybody in front of me and let go of the control of my life. No more, no mas. And you've got, and the moment that you say no more, you have got to face a little bit of a battle because you've taught everybody around you that you
That's your
didn't
doormat.
matter,
Yeah.
that you were doormat, you didn't matter, and everybody gets to do their way. And now you have to retrain everybody, and you have to be tough, and you have to say no, and you have to get uncomfortable if you are a people pleaser, but you will get past that. And then people will start to understand. And then those that matter, what's the
Don't
expression?
mind.
Don't mind. And
And
those that mind don't matter,
don't
because
matter.
though you will become very clear on those people in your life, and you'll be like, well, they refuse to abide by my boundaries. They refuse to abide by my thoughts, my choices, my life. They refuse to respect that. So you're gone. You're out. I don't need you in my life because you do not respect my boundaries. This is what I set for myself, not you, for me. But you keep coming on them. I don't need you around. And they will disappear at some point. Well, they'll talk. Don't get me wrong. They'll talk a lot of crap about you in that process. Who cares? You'll get to a point where you just don't care anymore because you realize that all the crap that they're talking is because they're unhappy in their own lives. And I've been on both sides of that. I have been the one talking crap and unhappy, and I have now transitioned into I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think, and I don't even care to talk about anything. You live your life. That's how you want to live it. That's fine by me. Just do not have me in it. I don't want to be a part of your life.
Oh, I'm not going to allow you to make me a part of that life of yours. That's
right.
how we have to. Like, you can't make me because I'm not allowing you. Because
Yes.
everything that everybody has done to you, you have allowed it by not standing on your firm foundation and building that solid boundary. And maybe we didn't know that back then. So we can let it go. But anything, once you learned it and anything that you've allowed going forward, I don't want to hear about it. And I'll be that bitch in your story because it's true. Everything that you allow after learning about your solid foundation of your character and building your boundaries, and you're still letting people abuse you, use you, disrespect you, take your time that no one but God can replace, it's your fault. I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
And yeah,
It
you know
is.
what, Madeline? I've always said it. My kids laugh about it. My kids are about to be 34 and 38. And we will talk about how not only if anybody were to retrace my life as a young parent, would nobody nominate me for a Parent of the Year award. I never went out to get one. It was not my mission. I wanted my children not to have to learn what I learned to live on survival mode, but I wanted them to know what was tolerated, what was not, and in between they got the ass beat because I believe in disciplining your kid. I don't believe in, oh my God, why would you do that? I'm gonna give you some space. I don't believe in that. And whoever does, I'm not disrespecting you. But even to this day, I would drop my kids when they're disrespectful. And I wish one of them were on here so they can tell you that I am not me. Iritza's on here, she'll tell you. Why? Because in order for them to grow up and be whoever the fuck they were supposed to be, my responsibility was to mold them, not to create them into who they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I don't owe them anything. If they want to ever give me an award, I'll accept it as a joke because we all know I was that stern mother. I was that fun mother. I was the mother that embarrassed the shit out of you, you know, and I was the best mother that I was able to be at that age. I had 2 kids by the age of 21. I was still growing up. And I did the best that I was capable of doing. And then I did better and better. As I learned, I integrated into my life. As I learned, and boom, boom, boom. So that's what we do. We do the best we can with what we have while learning to be better. And that's the only thing we can do in life. So never attack yourself for not knowing back then. Never disrespect yourself for failing at any point in their lives. Because there's some things I'd be like, maybe I was a little too strict, but there's some things that I'm like, it built their character. Look at Georgette, 34 and 38. Did you give birth at 8? Thank you. And look at Petey. She will drop them now in a minute. And it's only because I want them to be the best person they can possibly be. When you tell your kids, do good, make sure your report card's good, stick to it. So I told my kids, you know how they got report cards before Thanksgiving break? I said, your first, period report card better be good because you asked for a lot of stuff for Christmas. They didn't believe me. So Christmas came, I had them unwrap all their gifts, and they asked for a bike. Remember, PlayStation was hot that year. My daughter wanted a stereo system. And mind you, they were young. But see, we overindulge from what we growing up in father panic with nothing. And then you wanted them to have a little better than you did. And then we overdo it. Anyway, I said, your report cards were terrible. I would do better. I bought them everything they asked for and some. And I had them unwrap all their gifts with the oohs and the ahs. And then I said, just unwrap them. Don't open the packages. And then they were loving it and they were deciding what they were going to open. And I said, okay, we're donating them. They hated me. But we went to the hospital and we donated those ice skates, that PlayStation, the radio, everything they got, purses for Tiffany, this and that. We donated to all the kids that were in the hospital. Don't play. When you tell your kids you're going to do something, follow through because then they will learn to manipulate you. I already said I wanted to be mother of the year. Now I have 2 biggest disrespectful adult kids. There you go. Oh, Toji-san, hello. But what I'm saying is everybody teaches their own. But when you reach a place that you think that that's what you wanted to do with your partner, with your own life. I'm not even talking about parenting. Parenting is hard on its own. I never wanted kids. Now I got 5 grandkids. Never say never because then you drink bucket loads of that shit. It's all about you. It's all about what you want in life. And if you are consistent, if you're determined to choose happiness, and then let the road be paved with you being happy with who you are, you make better decisions. And when you make better decisions for you out of happiness, you're making better decisions for those closest to you.
Yes, correct.
And if that's the only thing you start doing from now is learning to love yourself to where you are happy, then things will fall into place. And I'm not telling you this because I read it. I'm telling you this because I had a conversation with Lori yesterday. What was the first thing I said? I am so happy with me right now. Did I not?
Yep.
I said, I'm proud of myself. You know why? Because I've gained some weight, but I'm losing it the right way. I'm not forcing myself. I'm eating and eliminating, and then I'm exercising. And that two together, the orgasms that come out of that are just, I can't even explain it right now because I am my priority. And the weight's going to come off, but I'm not going to rush it. What did my cousin say? You're so right about that, Margie. At one point, my first daughter wanted a quinceañera, but we always said good grades and good outcome, and she didn't apply that year, so there was no sweet 15 party. Oh, well, but did she die? No, now she's planning her daughters, right? And then you learn. And my kids will sit there and say, we had the terrible childhood. And then I'll go up like if I'm going to slap them because I really want to slap them. And they're like, we're just kidding. But you know what? They are kidding. And we had hard times and we had good times and we had Mets times and we had traumatic times because that was what I created in that time in my life. You know, and do the best you can with what you have and then learn to be better. That's the message today. Is it not, badass Buddha?
Yeah.
Do the best you can. I can do the best I can with what I know from yesterday, and I'm going to apply it to my today.
But know that you are capable of doing more. So push yourself. If you know what you can do now and you look at it and you say, but I want more in my life across the board, then know that you're capable. If you want to learn about your mind and how it works, then read on it. If you want to know what it's like to be a successful entrepreneur because you're struggling in your business, then go meet people that are successful entrepreneurs and ask them what they do. Say, can I hang out with you for a little while? What is it that you do that maybe I'm doing wrong? We are capable, but what we do is we just accept our surroundings and our lives and say we're too old or it's too late. What if the world just blew up and you had to make these choices? You had to put a backpack together and get the hell out of where you were. People like that happens all the time throughout the world, all the time. And they do it. They do it. They get up, they go, they're resilient, and they restart their lives because they can. Now, we don't have to be that drastic, but push yourself. Look around and say, once again, become aware. Am I happy here? Do I really like where this is going? Do I like my life? Do I love my life? Am I just tolerating things? And if you are in that place where you're like, no, I really like my life. I love, then great. Then just like add excitement to it. But if you are miserable, if you're not happy, and it may not be, if your marriage is not great or whoever you're with, your significant other is not great, doesn't mean you have to divorce the person. It just means you have to redirect a few things. Maybe you have to change yourself. Maybe you have to have a conversation with the person and say, listen, I don't know about you, but I'm not happy. And I want to do something different. And maybe they were thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe as you change, it becomes evident that this relationship has to end. But it starts with you. It starts with you embracing your capabilities. You embracing and saying, I can do this. I can, and I will, and I am. So I can means it's a future thing. I know I can do it. I will is a future thing, but I am, it means present.
Yeah. And can I say something? I can is a future thing, like 5 minutes from now.
Yes.
I can begin as soon as this show ends. And you're like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And that's it. And because I have the will to do it, and someone wrote there, and I firmly believe it, tomorrow, what's the word of the day? Tomorrow. What's the meaning? Why wait till tomorrow what you could do today? Do the most you can today. Yesterday I was on a roll. I made 2 necklaces. I wrapped up some gifts. I decorated them. I made tea bags. I drove to West Bumblefuck to get a door. I did all this. And I still felt like I didn't do much because that's how pumped I was. I'm so pumped with what I'm doing, what I'm saving, what I'm acquiring to complete what needs to be done so that the happiness that I choose for my life stays consistent. And Madeline, that is wonderful. Started a new business at 54. I'm with you because people are like, what is your business name? You have so many names. I know what my names are. I am Margarita de Margarita. I'm the boss of Cricket's Whisper. Cricket's Whispers LLC. It's an apparel, accessory, and coffee line. And then I got my coffee business, Naturally Orgasmic Cafe Company. And they all fall under one umbrella, which is Margarita de Margarita, because that means that I belong to me. So figure out what's your you and then do it. She says, Marty and I have changed so much over the last few years, especially since we have been here. And that's a gift. So when you are branded a gift as a badass Buddha was to move exactly where she wanted to be, appreciate all the little crumbs that fall at your feet. Because those crumbs, if collected wisely, create a big cake. that you're going to enjoy. So appreciate the good, the bad, the ugly, because at the end of the day, they form that bright light that shines from within. Why? Because you're carrying it all together and you're saying, this is where I need to be. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. The bullshit is just the bullshit. That means I need to learn something. And let me tell you, for those of you who, I am happy with my life, however chaotic it may seem to people outside of me. People don't understand by now, but it's not for you to understand, comprehend, learn from. It is for you to say, oh, why is she doing that? Or why is she doing that? That's how you choose who you are. Are you going to be a sourpuss because you don't want to make change and you don't like people around you? So you say you don't understand? Or you're looking at it like, oh, why is she doing that? Interesting. And you look deep within yourself. Because this is what Viva Cafe con Leche is about. It's us sitting here learning, or we lived it and we have to share. You share, we learn, we put into process. This is a give and take. This isn't a just give, listen, learn from us. No, this is a give and take, and that's why we love our tribe. What that's our business?
Yeah, I told her to put it into the link into the comments. Yep.
Okay, let me write it.
So Desiree, so Desiree says, you have me in tears here, and we have to end the show in a moment, but she says, in my feelings here, a little sad today. So think about what Gladiator Guru always says is the emotions come to you to go through you. And I've been really teaching this a lot to my children as of lately too, is to just say to yourselves, you know what? I feel this today, and I'm going to let it go through me. Feel it for only put a time frame on it today. I feel sad today, and then let it move through you and redirect yourself into doing something else that will make you feel a little bit better, or ask yourself why I'm feeling this way and just let it go through you.
And remember, before we leave, we women take on more than we need to because we feel that we're supposed to. And then we feel angry that men can just get up, take a shower, get dressed, and go to work while we have to deal with blah, 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 blah. But that's your ego saying, well, I'm going to show him I can do this, or I have to do this because this and this. And again, you're thinking of everybody outside of you. Okay, if you have a husband, it's 100. It's not 50-50. So he has to give 100%, and so do you, because in today's day, most of the mothers also work. So he don't get to get up, take a shower, get dressed, grab his coffee, and go to work. No. Okay, today's your day to drop these fuckers off at school, because I need to meditate on my way to work. You need to be so upfront with yourself that you're going to say, this is what we're doing. 5 days a week, these kids go to school. This is what we're going to do. Monday, you got it. Tuesday, I got it. Wednesday, you got it. Thursday, I got it. Friday, we're both taking them. Share the load. Don't overwhelm yourselves, because then when your kids grow up and leave you, what do you have left? You've been so busy doing everything outside of you for your husband and your kids that then you got to start from zero. Let me tell you, the hardest thing in life at 52, second time. So I'm going to say 52. The first time was 48, that I have to start at zero. I'm talking retirement, savings. I'm talking about my life. And guess what I said? Fuck this shit. I'm going to Spain. Boop. And I walked to Spain. And I'm still at zero, but I'm building. So what I'm saying is, trust yourself enough to know that you were born on purpose for a purpose. You are love. You are a light. You breathe happiness to everyone around you. Stop giving your shit away. Harbor some of that for you. Learn to make yourself happy before you're going out there and spreading it out and feeling empty. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup.
That's correct.
And if we taught you anything today, you can be fully in love with yourself. Remember what I said. A couple shows ago, my brother said, "Beloved, I am so in love with you." And I just love that he said that because it didn't have any negative connotation. He is so in love with the woman that I have become since he watched me grow. Be so in love with yourself and be centered with yourself, because then you know who is deserving of your love, whose emergency you need to attend to outside of yourself. And then that is being centered, and that is being appreciative of the I am within your I am. Be good to yourself.
We're gonna go, but I do want to write. I want to show this. So Madeline wrote, "My tribe. This was the hardest year of my life, and the lessons I learned was to sit with it. We try to mask it or eat or drink it or smoke it away so we don't sit with it." The irony is this, right? For those of you that have been paying attention for the last couple of months with Madeline coming on and putting her comments in, we would have never guessed that this was the hardest year for her, because her comments have been so spot on, so insightful, so evolved, and empowering. Who would have ever guessed that this was the hardest year of her life? But this is why she has become who she has become, because of the challenges that she has gone through, and she learned and evolved from them. And so this is the lesson from all of this. You are capable. You choose. You either choose to get knocked down and stay on the ground, or you choose to get up and get up and get up. And after a point, you're not going to get knocked down nearly as much.
You're going to be, fuck that shit. We break up, Floor. You and me are over. But she said something that is very imperative to your life, to your soul. Sit with it. Sit with it. Even though you want to run, even when it's heavy and difficult.
Even when it's painful, itchy, nauseating.
You're not quite sure of the way through. Healing happens by feeling. Yep. So sit with it. You're absolutely right. Hi, Miggy. And she says, it sucks. It is hard. It's gut-wrenching, sickening, throw up, sickening. But I promise it feels better when you allow yourself to grieve the loss of what you thought you had. Now, what you thought you had wasn't really something what you had. So you really can't miss what wasn't fully present in your life. So try to think of it that way. Oh, it was good while it was there. You know?
Or we thought it was. Sometimes
we thought it was because we didn't want to see past the curtain.
Correct. Yep.
So, this was amazing. I needed to hear this today. I needed to hear my thoughts come out my mouth and re-enter my ears so that it can settle in my soul. And if you allow yourself to speak your truth out of your head, through your mouth, let it come back and reverberate into your ears, and it settles in your soul, you're going to know what the hell to do. You're going to feel like, oh my God, I am so empowered right now by those thoughts that were keeping me paralyzed. I released it. I listened to it. I felt it. And now I'm like, woosah, I got this.
All right. Well,
so let's move forward. Okay. I got to go.
All right. Our lovelies, our lovely tribe, everybody have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Work on yourself, be kind to yourself, do something nice for yourself. And we'll see you back on Tuesday of next week we're going to be talking about I Am Unstoppable. And that is with regards to our beliefs, what we believe about ourselves. So then, thank you so much for being here from the Badass Buddha. Remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.